Hi, Cenlar folks. We'd like to welcome you back for this midday 20-minute session. The session is going to be directed by Bjarni Nirmo today. He's a Studio B training facilitator and senior teacher here. Bjarni has been described as someone who doesn't take himself too seriously, but takes his practice very seriously and encourages his students to do the same. Bjarni began his yogic journey in 2008, but has always had a deep curiosity of mindfulness and meditation. Firsthand, he has changed his life through these practices, working through many life transitions with yoga by his side. Proving the value of the practice to himself helped to make the decision to go deeper in his journey. You will hear him say with a smile, "Don't trust me, trust the practice." In addition to teaching, Bjarni is a passionate father, Navy veteran, international business leader, musician, and has a love for travel, the arts, and sharing the curiosity of yoga. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll turn it over to Bjarni.
Gretchen, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I wanted to talk to everyone today about something called square breathing or box breathing. This is a very, very simple introduction to meditation practices that relies on using your breath as the anchor. So when I say anchor, what I'm talking about is the mind is constantly moving. It does this automatically. It does this without us really engaging it. It just wants to think. I've heard my teacher once called it a meaning-making machine, where it's just up there going on, creating scenarios of the future or dissecting things of the past. And for me, meditation practice really enables me to kind of just center and be in the present moment, and then to allow myself to then enter some different states of mind. So, states of mind being creativity, relaxation. And this practice we're going to talk about today, square breathing, is going to bring us right into that. And to me, it is the quickest way for me to kind of get out of an anxiety moment or a fear-based moment into a moment of, my true self, which is not, driven by fear or anxious thoughts. So the basic premise of square breathing is to, you're probably going to hear some of these terms as we go through more training, but there's two states of being, if you want to look at it this way. One is fight or flight, which is sort of an adrenaline, reactionary type of a scenario, and the other one, which is might not be as well known, as the opposite of that, which is rest and digest. So this technique is actually scientifically proven. They've done studies on, once you anchor into the breath, how you can kind of go into that state of rest and digest a little bit more quickly. And the great thing about this is going to be a tool where you can actually just bring yourself into that, in just a couple of minutes, and as you go through this, you'll learn different techniques, but really the basic premises of this is to just really focus on two things, which is counting your breath and controlling your breath, right? So you're focusing on the numbers, and then you're also focusing on the breath flow as it comes in and out. So the basic premise of this is 4 parts, right? So that's where we get the name box or square breath. And the 4 parts are the inhale, the holding of the breath, and then the exhale, and then the holding of that exhale. And that's what creates the box. And you can think about the box in your mind as you're going through this. Really helpful to actually bring that visualization cue. There's no wrong way to really think about the numbers in the breath. So if you want to visualize the actual numbers as you're counting, I sometimes get creative and actually see the numbers passing through. You can create those visualizations to really just anchor yourself into that moment and then control the breath. Once you kind of create that state of mind where you are in control of breathing, which normally you don't have to think about, a different section of your brain becomes activated and connected, where now we can kind of enter that state of rest and digest. So I'm not a scientist, and I haven't done the studies, but I have definitely read a lot of literature saying that once you bring yourself into that breath, the body then will start to move from that fight or flight, which could be triggered by stress and anxiety, into rest and digest, which is a much more mindful, in the present moment based way of being. So I use this, like I said, constantly. Sometimes I'll use it while I'm sitting in traffic. I'll use it while I'm actually standing in the grocery store, waiting in line, and noticing something maybe triggering me, or thinking I'm late for something, but really not having control of the situation. It's a perfect time to just stop what you're doing, give yourself a couple breaths, and bring yourself out of that anxious state. So we're going to try this. We're going to do it together. It's a lot of fun. So just have an open mind. What I want you guys to do is find a seat, or you could even lay down and listen to my voice as we go through it. Really, how you sit, where you're sitting, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're able to breathe freely wherever you're sitting, or even laying, or even standing, right? You can do this, like I said, standing in line. So what I want you to do, I'm just going to talk through one session before we actually start. And then what I want to do is actually go through a couple minutes of doing this. And then I want to give you some tips on how to take that practice even further after we go through the practice. So if you can, I want you guys to sit down, settle into your seat. You can close your eyes or just leave them open a sliver. And everybody just take a deep breath in, fill up your whole body. Just notice what that feels like. Notice how your chest rises, all the way in. And then exhale all of the air out, let it out. Good, now we're gonna count this next inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it, you're at the top of the box now for 2, 3, 4. Now exhale for 2, 3, 4. Now hold it out. 2, 3, 4. That's the basic premise right there. And we're using a count of 4. That's just a great introductory way to do this. You can play with the numbers later on, and I'll talk about that after this. So we're going to use the count of 4. And we're going to, again, just get into our meditative seat. Close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths normally before we bring the control into it, and just notice your breath. If you need to make any adjustments in your seat, just do it now. As we're preparing now to sit for a little bit longer in this. We're going to go for 3 minutes. We're going to start small. You can go 3 minutes at a time, 5 minutes at a time. Play with it. All right, so together, take a deep breath in just to clear. Again, fill up everything, soften your gaze. Good, exhale all the air out. And now we'll start. Take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it out, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it out, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, make it even. 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale it out. 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 3, 4. Hold. 3, 4. Even exhale. 3, 4. Now hold it. 3, 4. Breathe in, even inhale. 3, 4. Pause here at the top. 3, 4. Now exhale it out. 3, 4. Hold it out. 4. Big breath in, even. 3, 4. Hold it at the top. 2, 3, 4. Exhale it out. Hold it out. In. Hold. Let it out. Hold it near. Another big breath in. Hold it at the top of the box. Now exhale. Hold it out. Now take a deep breath in. And just exhale. Congratulations. Whether you've meditated before in your life or you haven't, you just did. So notice how you feel. Just take an inventory. Notice how you felt before doing it. Notice how your body actually feels now here, sitting in your seat or lying down. And just take note if there's anything that may have shifted, anything that changed. For me, sometimes I get a sleepy feeling after doing that, especially for longer periods. But 3 minutes is a great start, right? To just start. We could all find 3 minutes, whether it's between phone calls or waiting for somebody or an elevator ride, things like that are perfect opportunities to bring practice into your daily life where it's not as regimented, where you have to carve out certain amounts of time of your day to get to that state that you just got to. So we just brought a union of your mind and your body. Your mind was kind of in control in the present moment with your body. You may have also noticed that other thoughts were coming in as you were doing this. Maybe thoughts about the sound of my voice or the quality of the recording, or all these things always are coming in, and our mind is just reacting. It's the job of the nervous system. That's okay. I just want to tell you all that right now as you get into this journey. It's not a matter of being completely void of thought. It's a matter of when those thoughts come in, come back to your anchor and try it again. To me, the whole practice is about the comeback. As our minds drift, finding that anchor and coming back. And square breath is really just a great way that you can come into this and come out of it very, very quickly. It's very easy, and it's very easy to share with people who have never tried it before. So this is a great tool that, I'm a father of a teenage girl. So, we would do this together, high stress, high anxiety situations, really, really helpful to calming the situation down. Or, before we would go into, say, a tense discussion, we would just kind of sit and just get a couple breaths in so that we're not leading by that fight or flight mode and moving more towards that rest and digest mode. So I really, really hope that this helps you guys. And the other thing to think about after is really just the noticing, right? So the proof is in your own dissection of these practices. It's one thing to read about it. It's another to talk about it. But these are the types of things that you really, really need to investigate for yourself. You need to prove them to yourself. So as you go through box breath, just notice how you feel afterwards. Even if it's a subtle shift, hold on to that. Just notice. The other thing we can do with this practice, which is beautiful, it doesn't have to be a square box. It can be a longer breath in and maybe a shorter hold. You can make it any amount of seconds that you want to count. You can do it to music. If you have like a song that has a steady beat, you can use the beats to breathe. So the numbers are one way to get here, but also there are other ways. The whole premise of this is to very, very simply break down meditation to an attainable thing where you can just grab onto it, sit in the moment, and then notice how you feel when it's done. So again, my name is Bjarni Nirmo with Studio B. So happy to share this practice with you, and I really hope you have fun using it. Have a great day. Namaste.
Thank you, Bjarni. That was wonderful.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.